Check 1, 2. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to GaymerX2. I am super honored to see you all here. I know that it's very early in the morning, especially in gay time. So the fact that y'all came out at 10 in the morning for this means a ton. We have over 2,000 people coming this year, so this is just a fraction of that. I assume that you'll see a lot more of them at the parties, getting drunk and having fun. But you guys are the real winners because you're actually here to meet the celebs and to have a great time. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited because, you know, in our first year we were just getting started and we were just kind of getting people to know why it was important to look at queer rights in video games and why our community mattered. And you know, they laughed at us at first, and now they are here sponsoring us. So that's a pretty nice run. I want to really quickly actually thank all of our corporate sponsors because we got some really amazing sponsors this year. You know, we're not afraid to step up and support something like this. You know, I think for a lot of companies that we talk to, they were like, oh, we don't want to make a political statement, and that's a not fun thing to hear. I don't like having my identity be a political statement, but these companies actually were all about it and really wanted to sponsor it. So really quickly, League of Legends, MailChimp, and Logo TV are our main presenting sponsors. League of Legends actually has a hospitality lounge, 2 of them, over in Mission Marina. So if you're in cosplay, you need to have a safe space to chill out, get changed, you can go on over there. We also have our amazing gold sponsors. I'll quickly run through them. 2K. So you'll be able to play the first public demo of Borderlands, the pre-sequel. We'll have, yeah, I know, right? It's pretty cool. I think Gearbox is here. I think the CEO of Gearbox is here. They're going to be doing a panel right after this at 1. And also we're going to have a Beat the Streak challenge for WWE 2K14. You can win some 2K games and potentially meet Darren Young. Ubisoft is here. Ubisoft has been extremely supportive. You'll see if you go up to their booth, there's some really cool stuff. And if you look in your booklet, there's a really cool Raving Rabbids thing in there somewhere. But Ubisoft's awesome. Indiecade and Cards Against Humanity are doing 2 really amazing rooms upstairs on the 5th floor in the Some Games We Like room. If you want to see, like obviously we have a video game room with like kind of the traditional games, Smash Brothers and stuff. But if you want to see some of the more avant-garde indie games, go on up to the Indiecade and Cards Against Humanity room. She-Seek actually bought out an entire room for a ladies' lounge, so if you want to go and hang out and meet other female-identified people, it's going to be a really awesome, cool spot. GitHub is really awesome. They actually provided the space for us to do our training. We trained all of our volunteers in a safe space. And then real quickly, Ouya, NAS America, Atari, Northwest Press, Unity, they all have helped us out a ton with sponsorship, as well as Furcon, Shark Robot, Yaoi Down on One, Spectrum, Guild, Parsons New School for Design, and Anime on Display. And Alienware actually is loaning us 64 computers for the Alienware rooms up on the 5th floor. So we'll be having some cool workshops around how to program stuff. One of the things that we want to really focus on this year, and you know, the first year was really about community and showing people why it was important that we existed. But this year is about the fact that anybody can make a game. We don't have to wait for AAA developers to make games for us. You know, whether it's in Twine or RPG Maker or in Unity, anybody can go out and make a game, and the world deserves to hear your stories. And people are hungry for queer content in games. People are hungry for female perspectives in games. They're hungry for people of color perspectives. They're hungry for anything that's not straight white dude. So please make your voice heard because we want to. The game industry deserves it. So I'm actually not the Conn president this year. I am actually just running the business side of things. So I want to really quickly pass it over to Toni, who is our wonderful and beautiful Conn president, who will say a few words, and then we'll get over to our bosses of honor.
Hello, everybody. So trying to figure out if I want to do it now because I'm going to be really naggy because that's kind of what I do. But I think I might want to introduce a few people before I do that. So I actually want to instead The order is different. Instead, have Zach Wiener come up because Zach was. Yeah, I'm gonna make you talk. So Zach Wiener Smith, sorry, makes the comic SMBC Theater and SMBC Comics, and I'm really bad when I've got a microphone in my hand. He's actually been with us from the very beginning. He was like a huge supporter when we first started out, and I really like making him talk in public because he hates it. So Zach, come on, say something.
Hey, I'm gonna be even more awkward than Toni now.
That's the other reason.
Toni knew they were talking, and I didn't. What am I talking about?
How about why you decided to support it before when we
Yeah.
before we had anything?
Well,
big deal.
Yeah, I'm a huge deal. Well, I agree with the cause, but also, I don't know, everyone I worked with here was awesome. I met Matt first. Did someone just say aw? I just heard an aw. Aw. Yeah, I mean, I of course agree with the goals, but I agree with the goals of a lot of people and they're assholes. But everyone here was wonderful, and it's just been awesome. So, that's the main thing is you guys. Aww. And girls.
So Zach is very humble, but he actually is part of the reason why this all existed. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had a Kickstarter video for the original GaymerCon Kickstarter, and we wouldn't have had any press around it, and he made it all happen. So Zach Wiener Smith is pretty much the reason why GaymerX exists. So, and I'm going to give it up to Gordon Bellamy, another one of our bosses of honor. If you don't know who Gordon Bellamy, Gordon is the former head of the IGDA and is pretty much the king of the queer gaming community. And this is going to put you on the spot there.
That's cool. Yeah, why it's got to be all about gender, but that's cool. Anyway, good morning. I'll be super quick. This is amazing. So I'm a lifer in the game industry, in our craft, and I mean these companies are sponsoring. They're not sponsoring us. They're sponsoring you. Right? This is an acknowledgement that you have value as a diverse community of identity and orientation and taste and all the things we're going to talk about, you know, over the next couple of days and just experience together. Real briefly, just my personal experience of sort of coming out and just being myself right to this moment, right? So when I got in the industry 20 years ago, I was told dude bro-y and worked on Madden and blah, 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 blah. Rawr, right? And just like 2 months ago, I just got married. And I got a 3DS as part of my wedding registry. And so you'll find me unabashedly street passing, even right now, so feel free to power up and get to know me. I sort of have an open relationship with 3DS right now, so everyone's welcome. And I just, it's very exciting, I hope for all of you, just to take an opportunity to not let this be like the Loch Ness Monster, like the one time a year that you convene, but to actually take a moment and just sort of say hi to folks, because they're already enough. You don't have to ask if they are queer, you don't have to ask if they, what their identity is, but you know they love games, right? They have something in common with you, and it'll be incredibly valuable to you to be able to reconnect with the very people around you all year round. So that would be my moment. It's like, yeah, in between like Mario Kart and other awesomeness, just say hi to folks. I think it's pretty much okay with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, part of why we made this in the first place was to try to create a community. I remember with the first GaymerX, I actually got on stage at the end of the closing ceremonies and I told everybody to essentially replace the game industry. And I kind of stand by that. I think that once you guys have all met each other, you have absolutely no, excuse to not get together and do cool projects and stuff and little parties and whatever you do. So community is a big deal. And so actually, speaking about community, I actually wanted to go over something really quickly. So everybody got a program. And in the program is an inclusivity statement. And I kind of wanted to read that out to you guys, and I promise I'm not going to be super boring when I do it. But I did want to read it together because this is something I want to kind of like promise one another, and I think it's really important. And it's kind of it's kind of the magic that makes this con so fun, because when you're queer, it can be difficult to be in a space, especially crowded spaces, and feel safe, especially gaming spaces. And feel safe and comfortable and feel like people aren't going to, judge you or say rude things and things like that. So I think it's incredibly important. So I'm going to read these right now. So, and those are the rules, so not that. Sorry, I'm trying to outdo Zach. I'll try. All right. Where are they? Oh. Okay. So, at the very beginning it says, GaymerX is a safe space. This means, 1, we will all refrain from using language that can be considered homophobic, sexist, transphobic, racist, ableist, etc. This includes slurs on sexuality, like the F word, trans status, like the T word, and mental disability, like the R word, and others. 2, we will also avoid using offensive topics as a form of humor, such as making racist or sexual assault jokes. 3, and this is probably the most important one, we will remember that even if it's okay for us to say some of these things in our circles of friends, we are in a public place, and we will do everything in our power to remind ourselves of that. So I think that it's really important for people to know that, even if you say blank at home, even if you're like, oh, my friend's totally cool with me using, this word, you're not with that friend, you're in a public space, you may not know these people may be offended by some of those things. So let's kind of just play it safe and play nice, and I think we can not say a couple of words for like 3 days. So moving on to 4, if we say